Well, today is the day. Today is the day that we are going to talk about going back to the crime scene. This is very emotional. It is very personal. And at this time, to be honest with you, it's all about you. I can share my thoughts on how I feel about my situation, but how do you feel about your situation? How does it affect you personally, physically, mentally? How does it affect your everyday life? Have you put a band-aid on it and you're praying and hoping and wishing that it's just going to go away? Come on, talk to me. This podcast is about you and me chit-chatting and talking about it. What we're not going to do is that we are not going to run from our enemy. We are not going to sit down and be quiet about it. We're going to run to it. We're going to face it. We're going to use our voice in efforts of helping the next person. So happy Sunday to you. The episode today is number 13013. The topic today is going back to the crime scene. How do you feel about it? So I would like to thank you personally once again for joining Why Not Me, Leeshay Johnson podcast. Feel free to join me on YouTube. I am up under YouTube as Why Not Me October 1. Go to the YouTube site. You can find me up under Why Not Me October 1, Leeshay Johnson. There's about 88 YouTubes that are out there. And thank you again. I mean, my heart feels good that some of you are tuning in. So when I set out to do the podcast, I said I was going to release about 20 episodes of my journey. And don't forget, I have t-shirts available. I do have some hats available. They're black hats. They're black t-shirts with white letterings on them saying, Why Not Me, October 1. The hats are $15. The t-shirts are $20. I have all sizes in the shirts. I will be more than happy to mail one to you. Please feel free to email me at Leeshay, Lishey Johnson @gmail.com. Please order your t-shirts or hats from me. It's a way for me to pay for the podcast. So, if you have subscribed to the podcast, it's not free. So I do pay about $20 a month for the podcast to stay up. So I'm trying to find a way to let it pay for itself. So I do have t-shirts available. Again, email me at LishayJohnson@gmail.com. So let's just take a moment. Let's just take a deep breath in and breathe out. Remember, I'm not a psychiatrist. I am not a therapist. I am no way connected which way or another in the medical professional arena. I am an event planner. An event planner is a party planner. I am an event planner on a director level that was injured in the Las Vegas massive shooting. And I am sharing my journey with you in efforts of helping you or helping a friend that you know that has gone through such a horrific ordeal. And I am trying to get me back. I lost my joy, my laugh, my finances. Just you lose a lot. Your self-esteem, gained about 40 pounds. So I am on the journey of getting those things back, retaining who was I before Stephen Paddock shot down 58 innocent people, injured over 400 people at the Las Vegas Village, which is across the street from Mandalay Bay. So there's no need to talk about what happened on that day, because by now everybody is aware of the massive shooting that took place here in Las Vegas. So let me share with you that I did go back. I really don't remember when. I would say I wanted to do it before the end of the year. So that would have been the following year. So the shooting took place October 17th. So it didn't happen within that 90-day window. So it would have happened roundabout between October and January of 2018. I went with my spiritual mom, a licensed therapist who I was seeing for about 10 sessions. So we planned this day almost like a field trip, if you will. And there was 6 or 7 other survivors, and 1 or 2 had their family members with them, and then we also had a backup therapist. So what I'm saying to you is I did not go alone. I went with my spiritual mom, who I'm very close. So when I say spiritual mom, she's like a midwife. I talked to her more probably than I talked to my natural birth mom. So she's on the Christian base, if you will. So it was my spiritual mom, my licensed therapist who I was seeing every Tuesday night for an hour, and then she brought back up because, again, like I said, it was about 6 or 7 survivors. So therefore, if someone needed to be held, they needed to be counseled, we needed prayer, all those things were there in place. So I'm going to say to you, if you thought about it and you want to go to the crime scene, it doesn't necessarily mean I'm only speaking of a mass shooting. It could be domestic violence. You could have been raped. Just when you talk about survivorship, there's a whole lot of things that falls up underneath that umbrella, is what I'm trying to say. Let's not just stereotype it to a massive shooting. You are a survivor. You are given that title now because of the tragedy that took place in your life. It was an incident that happened. That's why now you have the name, the title, and we can consider ourselves to be a survivor. I kind of want to make sure I don't fumble and I give you what it is I intend to give you today during this podcast. So remember, every Sunday, 7 p.m., tune in. Every Sunday at 7 p.m. We are on episode number 13, going back to the crime scene. It is September the 22nd. We are literally a week away from the 2nd year anniversary, and I am holding on day by day by day. I have this feeling inside of me, but then I keep saying, I will not run from my enemy. I will stand up and face my enemy. I will get my freedom back, my joy back, my peace back, my love back. I will not continue to isolate myself. Do you feel me? It is time for you to move forward and get your swag back. But in the process, make sure you have your armor guards with you. So what I mean by that is like a bodyguard. Somebody that if you break down, it's okay. They got you. Don't take anybody that if you cry, you're going to be embarrassed around. You cannot really let your true emotions show. That's the wrong person to take. If you break down, make sure you break down with somebody that cares for you, that is going to mentor you, like a therapist, like a licensed professional therapist. Take that person with you, and maybe your best friend may not be the person to go with you on this journey. You can come back and say, guess what I did? This is what I did, and I want to share it with you. But take somebody that can counsel with you while you have your breakthrough. So it's about 10 of us all together, and we went back to the Las Vegas Village. We parked at the corner, and in my mind, I drove right to the parking lot where basically I parked my car. I did not know all of that has been fenced around, and then there's another fence around, so that you're not really connected per se to the ground. There is 2 fences, and there's about 15-20 feet in between the 2 fences per se. So this was the scene. And what I did, because I'm always thinking about the next, I took some scissors. I went and purchased out of my own pocket. But one thing about you being an event planner, you could be broke, don't have no food in the refrigerator, on your last $2. If an idea come to you, you're going to try your best to make it happen, and you will spend your last $2 to see somebody else's happiness. That's what it is when you are an event planner. You know, everybody has a purpose in life. When you figure out your purpose in life, it doesn't matter whether you get paid, not get paid doing that particular thing, because it's from your heart. So for me, I went to Walmart and I picked up all the orange ribbon that I could possibly pick up, and I took markers, and I said, when we got out of the car, let's have someone pray, and then just take a moment and write a message on the orange ribbon, and then when we get to the right gate, we will tie that ribbon on the fence. Well, let me tell you, I started writing and I started crying. So of course with the Sharpie, it's bleeding through, you know, the what am I trying to say? The ribbon. So I'm writing on the ribbon and I'm crying. So now the ribbon's getting wet and the black ink from the Sharpie is just like spread. And I'm like, I can't even read what I wrote on the ribbon, but my heart was there. My heart was there. I was not going to let that one thing mess up my day. Okay. So I write my message on it, you know, blessings to the 58 and their families. I'm a survivor. Love always, never forget. So I'm trying to write all that on a piece of ribbon, and then I can go tie it on the fence. So we proceeded to move our cars, and then the devil was getting busy. I'm going to say the devil because someone that I told about the event kept calling me every 10 minutes to say, where is the event? Where is the ground? Where is the ground? Been in Vegas longer than I've been in Vegas. It's only one area where the shooting is going to be. And if we parked our cars, you would see 6 or 7 cars. But this individual, because I always say the enemy will show up and show out, knowing this is my day. This is my day to release. But then I'm paying attention to this one individual that's not a survivor coming to offer support, and about 30 minutes late. So we're waiting on someone that's not even a survivor. Okay, so hear me and hear me well. That when you plan to do this, there was going to be some type of interference. So you got to block it. You have to say to yourself, either don't answer your phone, let me plan a day, I'm going to go out and I'm going to do this because it's for me. It's about me. It's for me. Seek ye first. Release. Release it. So, moving on, we park our cars, we get out, and we started walking. The closer I made it to what I would consider, this is the area that was safe. They made this for a memorial. The buses stopped like right in front of it, because this is like all of a sudden our crime scene, but it's a tourist site. So the bus stop is right there. So I'm walking there. I'm hearing the scrunching of the bus, the doors closing. They're dropping off passengers, and I'm thinking, okay, I see flowers. I see everything. I only have just a few more steps before I get to the memorial site. I start to cry. I start trembling, and I'm just like, Shay, you got this. When you leave here, you can go home, get something cold to drink, and go to bed, because this is like release. You're releasing the toxins that you've been holding. So you need a release right now. So we get there. One or two people were taking photos. All I remember doing was holding onto the fence, tying my ribbon, and I'm crying. I'm just crying. I mean, snot going past the tissue. I'm shaking at the same time. My spiritual mom is holding me and saying, it's okay, it's okay. So the whole time I was there, basically I had my eyes closed, and I was trying to be strong for the other 6 people that were there. So, because this is who I am. But I tell you, I am going back. I'm not ready to go back now. This year, I plan on spending with my 2 children and my new grandbaby of 2 months. Because when I laid there under those bleachers and I thought I was going to die, I was the next person the shooter was going to shoot. I said, let me call my mom, tell my mom I'm not running. You can find my body up underneath the bleachers. Tell my kids that I love them. So now that I am a week away from the 2nd year anniversary, I want to tell my kids in person that I love them. Tomorrow is not promised. So if you don't remember me telling you, I want to tell you in your face again and hold my grandbaby that I love you. That when I thought I was leaving this earth, you were the last 2 individuals on my mind. You are my seeds, and I love you. Again, this is episode number 13. Going back to the crime scene is deep. So I'm just sharing with you my journey. Feel free to email me, LeShayJohnson@gmail.com. LeShayJohnson@gmail.com. You can catch me on YouTube up under Why Not Me, October 1. Let that just resonate with you. For those of you that are a survivor, why not me? Do you think about that? Is there a guilt there when you think about why not me? Why was my life spared? There must be a purpose. What are you doing differently now that your life has been spared? How can you help the next person? I honestly can tell you I never thought about doing a podcast, but this is where my spirit has led me. Do you see something? You do not have to get confirmation from 4 to 5 different people when you feel something that inside of you. Do you have it? That I feel like I need to do this. Well, guess what? That is what you need to do, as long as it is healthy and as long as it is safe. How can you share your story, and how can you help the next person? This episode was tough for me because I can see myself still there at the crime scene. If you're listening to this podcast, I don't know how long it's been for you, maybe 15 years ago, maybe 10 years ago, maybe 3 years ago, but I am coming up on 2 years, and I do want to return to the crime scene. And on that day, I'm going to know, even if it's just me by myself in my car, parking across the street, this is something that I anticipate on doing for closure for me. Don't run from your enemy. Don't be quiet about it. Run to it, face it, and use your voice. Because at the end of the day, you never heard me say this, but I am going to say this right now. God sees your tears. He knows how long you've been waiting. He knows how long you've been waiting. Don't wait around for other people to do for you what you have done for them. Because you have done from them from your heart. So don't wait for other people thinking they're going to do for you like you did for them. Do you understand me? Just email me. Just email me. Share your thoughts with me. Because I tell you, God don't have bad days. Now, when I was laying up underneath that bleachers, my faith was extremely weak. I was the one saying, God, where are you? So I'm going to share with you today, 2 years later, I have come a mighty, mighty, mighty long ways. I thank God today for still having a roof over my head, a car to drive, working on getting back in my right mind. I don't have it all together yet, but I am still in therapy and I'm working on it. And also, I'm a work in progress and I'm sharing my journey with you. So release your sound. God moves on sound. Start talking to Him and start building your faith. I'm working on it too. So remember, when I started out, I said you and I are going to heal together. I know it hurts. It's so painful. It is still painful for me. It is so painful. Well, episode number 14 is going to be on faith and discovering people. And people that you thought were there for you that were not there for you. So discovering the people that's around you. And then number 15, episode 15 is going to be about the system, the paperwork, the things that we had to go through just to try to get some help. And then episode number 16 is about being organized. Let me tell you, if I wasn't so organized, I would be a hot mess. So I'm closing out on episode number 13. Have you gone back to the crime scene? If not, why not? Now, if you honestly cannot because it's in a different state, I get that. You could have been raped by a family member, don't want to destroy the family. That person is deceased. Maybe you don't want to go back to the home. You're financially unable to go back to the home. I get all of that. But at the end of the day, it's still there. You can picture it. So you can go back. You can go back in your head mentally and release that thing. So I'm going to be going back, and I have set a goal for myself to go back before the end of the year. Because I promise you it's not going to be before October 1. I know that. But from October the 1 and December 31st, I will make it back to the crime scene and I will share my journey with you. I'm going to do, like I said, 20 episodes. So maybe episode number 21 is going to be Lachey returning back to the crime scene to wrap up the podcast. Email me if you have any questions, you want to share some thoughts with me. If you want me to share them, I will share them. If you don't want me to share them, I won't share them, because this is you and I just chit-chatting about what happened, our journey, why we are a survivor. Breathe in, breathe out. Light a candle, take a hot bath, maybe use some Epsom salt, play some meditation music or some calm music or rain music, and just relax. Remember to take this time for yourself. Carve out 1 hour on a Sunday at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Tune in with me. Breathe in. Breathe out. Do a couple of neck rolls. Slowly move your head to the left and just kind of lay it there on your shoulder. If you can't touch your shoulder, just go down as far as you can. This is not about stress. This is about relaxing the tensions that's in your body. If it sounds like Rice Krispie, it's okay. It doesn't mean that you're getting, oh, I used to think that. It's that, the body is just waking up. Those little Rice Krispie pops, they're good for you. I always say it's toxin. You don't need it anyway. So just do a couple rolls to your right, all the way around, and to the left. So hopefully on Sundays about 10 minutes to 7, you start your bath water. You tune in, you listen to me, put your earplugs in, and just say, this is my time. This is my time. And when we're done chit-chatting, just take you a hot bath. And then prepare and get ready for your week. Remember, don't run from the enemy. Don't be quiet. Run to it. Use your voice. Get your sound back. Release the depression. Release the anxiety. Release the fear. Release the loneliness. Release the financial. Your finances have just been attacked. We're going to release it all. We're going to make some noise. We're going to make some things happen around us. We will use our voice to make a movement and to share our journey with others. Now I am going to say, God bless you. And thank you for tuning in to Why Not Me, Lesha Johnson podcast. Blessings.